Today we're gonna be making vegan Japanese dish. It's a fried tofu along with flavorful mushroom sauce. The sauce is bursting flavor by adding multiple kinds of mushrooms.
It's protein packed, full of flavor, but it's still really light. It's nothing like Western style tofu dishes, so I hope you can discover the new way of cooking tofu.
I also have a vegan Japanese breakfast video which I linked on the box below in case you are looking for more vegan Japanese food recipes. For now, let's hop right in. Here I have a firm tofu. Put something heavy on top of it, then wait for 15 minutes. In a way, you can draw out more liquid from tofu. While we are waiting, let's work on the tasty mushroom sauce. I happen to have an enoki mushroom and shiitake mushroom here, but feel free to use any mushrooms you have on hand. Trim off the stem of shiitake mushroom and then thinly slice it. Don't toss away the stem, it is eatable, so shred them by hand and save it for later.
Now some people ask me if they can eat a mushroom as raw, but the answer is no for most of the kinds. Like champagne mushroom can be eaten as raw, but other mushroom like shimeji mushroom, enoki mushroom, shiitake mushroom, they should be cooked before you eat it for the sake of health.
For enoki mushroom, again trim off the stem and then shred it by hand. If you don't like the gooey texture of mushroom, you can also finely chop them. In a pot, add rice wine, mirin, soy sauce, pinch of salt, and kombu stock. If you want to know how to make kombu stock from scratch, I made a separate video about that, so again, the link is on the box below. But for the shortcut, feel free to use kombu stock powder. It's still gonna be tasty. Exact measurement is on my blog. Then in goes mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can swap for other veggies like onion, leek, carrot are great options. If that's the case, make sure to finely chop and cook them longer. Put it on the medium heat, and once it comes to a gentle boil, you wanna check the taste. If you taste it a little bland, add more soy sauce and salt. We're gonna be drizzling over the tofu, so if you taste the sauce a little overpowering at this point, you are on the right track. Thicken the sauce with potato starch. I pre-mixed with equal parts of potato starch and water. Make a swirl as you mixing in. Stir them thoroughly to make sure the sauce is equally thickened. Off the heat and set it aside. This entire process only takes you about 3 minutes or so. Grate the daikon radish and squeeze the liquid. Mix with the Japanese 7 spices. This is gonna be your garnish, so totally optional, but I love to have this because grated daikon radish is so refreshing. Just a side note, daikon radish is a winter seasonal vegetable, so if you're making it in other season, they tend to be more fibrily and less moisture. Back to tofu. Cut one block of tofu into 8 pieces. Tofu is about 350 grams. You wanna make sure to wipe off the liquid completely before you coat with the potato starch, which I forgot to do in this video, so later you will see quite a lot of oil splatter all over on me. Here I have a potato starch. First rub the tofu into some potato starch, just slightly coating it all sides. You wanna avoid any big lump of potato starch here, just using your hand brushing off any excess potato starch. Then put straight into the oil. About 3 tablespoons of oil has been warming up over mid-heat. Here is a little tips. The moisture of tofu will seep out as the time passes. If you left the tofu too long after you coat with potato starch, the potato starch results in very sticky and mushy, so as soon as you coat with the potato starch, it's better to shallow fry right away. Cook them over mid-heat. In case the oil starts to splatter on you, it's always safe to prepare the lid next to you. Partially cover it if it's needed. I really need it since I forgot to wipe off the excess liquid. I always want to avoid anything to cause a mess in the kitchen. Once one side becomes browned, flip and do the other side. I'm using firm tofu here. Alternatively, you can use silken tofu, but the silken tofu will likely to be more crumbled than firm tofu, so I recommend to start with firm tofu. I don't recommend an extra firm tofu since the texture is too dry and tough for this recipe. All you want is the nice golden crust on the surface. It should take about 6 minutes or so and transfer on the wire rack. Now time to assemble everything on the plate. Place your tofu on the plate and drizzle a generous amount of mushroom sauce on top. Make sure the sauce is nice and warm. If it's too thick, feel free to splash some water when you warm up. I also cook some rice and miso soup along with Agedashi Tofu. I have a couple miso soup idea on separate video. I linked on the box below in case you are looking for more miso soup ideas. Then sprinkle some chopped spring onion if you want to. There you go, it's an authentic traditional vegan Japanese dishes which I love. Very crispy on the outside and smooth and soft inside. The sauce is very savory, so those two works complementary. The season in Tokyo is gradually shifting to fall, so I started craving for these warm, nourishing dishes even more. My kids doesn't take anything spicy food, but if I'm just eating myself, I definitely garnish the daikon radish on top. If you are looking for more vegan Japanese dishes, I got some recipes on my blog for you. There are over 120 Japanese home cooking recipes, including a couple vegan recipes. Everything is in English and totally free.
Now I'm very curious to know, how do you usually cook tofu? Let me know in the comment below. And if you make my recipe in your kitchen, please tag me on the Instagram because I love to see your creations. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye. またね。